Class 9C. So today we will start page number 23 of economics books, page 23. So I want you all open your NCRT books and see this topic health. This page is quite blur, so you all can see your book. Okay. We know that for considering people as resource, two things are required, that is skill and second is health. Okay, so we have seen that how a skilled person can earn more and can increase the national income. Like we saw the example of Sakal, who did the computer course and earned better than his parents, and he helped in the increase of national income. Okay, whereas when a person is not skilled, then that person becomes liability for the society. Now the second and important factor, which is health, will tell us that how the person is resource. Okay, now every organization, we all know that every organization wants a person who is healthy, because when a person will be healthy, then that person can work with can work more efficiently and will have more potential. Okay, so every organization needs the person who is healthy. Okay, the health of a person helps him to realize his potential and the ability to fight illness, and healthy unhealthy person becomes liability for an organization. Health is an indispensable basis. Indispensable basis refers to the very important factor. We know that health is indispensable. Indispensable means very important factor. Okay. Henceforth, improvement in the health status of the population has been the priority of the country. Our national policy too aims at improving the accessibility of healthcare, family welfare and nutritional service, with a special focus on the underprivileged segment of population. Over the last 5 decades, India has built up a vast health infrastructure and has developed manpower required at primary, secondary, and tertiary sector in government as well as in the private sector. So, in all three sectors, only the healthy percent is required. Now, we all are given with this data, which is on page number 24. Okay, you all see that how health infrastructure over the years has become better. Now you see, this is SC, PHC, CHC. It stands for Primary Health Center. CHC stands for Community Health Center. Okay, so in 1951 there were 725. You all can see this data. 1981 57,363, then 2001 1,63,181, 2010 1,75,000, and 2013 1,81,319. Now let's see dispensaries and hospitals. The dispensaries and hospitals have also increased. 1951 they were just 9,209, but in 2013 only hospitals have increased to 19,817. Beds in the hospital 1,17,000, and 2013 2013 6,28,000. Doctors of allopathy 61,800 in 1951, which has increased to 9,18,000. Nursing personnel 18,054 and general nurse 1,09,224 in the year 2013. It is just the data which is telling about the better situation of health department in our country. Now they have asked you some questions like based on the given data. Do you think the increase in the number of doctors and nurses is adequate for India? If not, then why? So they are asking you like, do you think that the doctors number which has increased is sufficient? Let us calculate. Question number 3. Question number 1 and 2, they are in the above page. We will just discuss. Let's start with question number 3. So here you all can see no. The answer is no, because our population is quite high and the number of doctors and nurses is inadequate. Doctors and nurses number is inadequate. They are not sufficient. Okay. So they are not inadequate because both doctors and nursing personnel is still too low for India's population. Question number 4. What other facilities would you like to provide in a hospital? Yes, you all want this in our hospital, that hospitals should be clean and hygienic. They should be clean and hygienic. Second, there should be more emergency wards and ambulances. Okay, we want emergency wards, more of emergency wards. And third thing, doctors should be available 24 hours. Chemist shops should be available inside the hospital, and there should be proper documentation for OPD. Okay, so this is what we want in our country. Question number 5. Discuss about the hospital you have visited. Have you ever visited any hospital in India? You might have visited. Okay, and what you might have observed, I'm talking about any kind of hospital. It can be a private hospital or a government hospital. So you can write your experience for question number 5. Okay, now question number 6, can you draw a graph using this table? So that also you can try. You can make the like graph using the above data which is given there. Okay, now let's move on to the activity. Visit a nearby hospital, either government or private, and note down the following details. How many beds and are there in the hospital you have visited? So right now you cannot do this activity. This is COVID time, so don't try to go to the hospital right now. It's unsafe. So let's move on to the next topic, that is unemployment. You all just see this topic here on the page 24. Sakal's mother Sheila looked after the domestic chores, children, and helped her husband Bhuta in the field. Sakal's brother Jitu and sister Situ spent more of their time in playing and roaming. Can you call Sheila, Jitu, or Situ unemployed? If not, why? Because they are still not independent, they are not big enough to work. So what is unemployment? With to whom you will say that this person is unemployed? So unemployment is said to exist when people who are willing to work at the going wages cannot find job. Suppose you are well educated, but you are and you are searching job, and if you don't get job, then you will be considered unemployed. Okay, but right now you are a student, you are depending on your parents, and you are not willing to work right now because you don't think yourself fit for any job right now, so you will not be considered unemployed. So who all are the unemployed? The unemployed is said to exist when people who are willing to work at the growing going wages, okay, and cannot find job. Okay, Sheila is not interested in working outside her domestic domain because she was busy with her own household work, so she did not want to go out and work. Jitu and Situ, they were very small to be counted in the workforce population. Yes, that's why they cannot be considered unemployed because they are small children. Neither Jitu, Situ, or Sheila can be counted as unemployed. The workforce population includes people from 15 years to 59 years. This is the age of employment. Sakal's brother and sister do not fall within this age group, so they cannot be called unemployed. Sakal's mother Sheila works for the family. She is not willing to work outside her domestic domain for payment. She too cannot be called unemployed. Sakal's grandparents, although not mentioned in the story, cannot be called unemployed because they are going to be above 59 years. In case of India, we have unemployment in rural and urban areas. However, the nature of unemployment differs in rural and urban areas. In case of rural areas, we have seasonal disguised unemployment. Let us discuss what is seasonal. Seasonal unemployment happens when people are not able to find job during some months of the year. We know in our villages, farmers, they do not have work throughout the year. Okay, they work for some months when there is rain, when they have to sow seeds, when they have to harvest. Other times they are free. Okay, they are only busy in certain season, that is in the month when they sow the seeds, when they do harvesting, weeding, threshing. Once these activities are done, then they become unemployed. So this is said to be seasonal unemployment. This is said to be seasonal unemployment. Now in case of disguised unemployment, they appear to be employed, but they are not having proper work. Now we will take the example of this. You know, if suppose there is a family of 5 people, okay, and there is a piece of land, they have a piece of land, suppose there is a family and they have a piece of land where only 5 people are required. Okay, area is not big, the land area is not big, but and only if only 5 people they work, that is sufficient. But you see, 8 people are working there in a piece of land. 8 people are working there, but there is requirement of only 5. So these 3 extra people in the same plot, okay, these 3 extra people does not add to the contribution made by the live people. If 3 people are not removed, the productivity of the field will not decline. If suppose we remove these 3 people, still this land is like can give the production with these 5 people. So this is the like 3 other people who are extra, they are said to be disguised unemployed. Okay, they are pretending to work, but there is no requirement of these 3 people. Now let's talk about in urban areas. In urban areas, educated unemployment has become common. Okay, many youth with matriculation means those who have done their high school or graduation or post graduation degrees are not able to find job. A study showed that unemployment of graduate and postgraduate has increased faster than among matriculates. A paradoxical manpower situation is witnessed as surplus of manpower in certain categories coexist with shortage of manpower in others. There is unemployment among technically qualified person on one hand, while there is dearth of technical skills required for economic growth. Unemployment leads to wastage of manpower resource. If suppose a skilled person is sitting at home, so this is a wastage of manpower. People who are an asset for the economy, those people who can bring wealth for the economy, if they are not getting job, then like they are considered as, and they are considered as liability means opposite of asset. If they are not getting job, then they become liability, though they can become asset for the country. There is a feeling of hopelessness. You see, those people who are qualified, who can work efficiently, and if they don't get job of their of their deservedness, then this creates hopelessness among them. Okay, people do not have enough money to support their family. They become like irritated when they can earn, but they don't get job to earn, then they become irritated. Then inability of educated people who are willing to work to find gainful employment implies a great social waste. This is the like wastage of human talent. Unemployment tends to increase economic overload. So unemployment is bringing overload load situation to the economy. The dependence of the unemployed on the working population increases. The quality of life of an individual as well as of society is adversely affected. When a family has to live on a bare subsistence level, there is a general decline in its health. If suppose a family is not having enough money to eat nutritional food, then their health will also become decline. Okay, they will, there is a decline in their status. Okay, they will not get proper education. Hence unemployment has detrimental impact on the overall growth of the of an economy. If a family is not having enough money, that means this is indirectly affecting the economy of the country also. Increase in unemployment is an indicator of a depressed economy. Okay, if there is unemployment in the country, then this is like affecting the country's economy and is considered as depressed economy. Economy. In case of India, statistically the unemployment rate is low. A large number of people represented with low income and productivity are counted as employed. They appear to work throughout the year, but in terms of their potential and income, it is not adequate for them. The work that they are pursuing, the secondary sector, small scale manufacturing is the most labor absorbing. In case of tertiary sector, various new services are now appearing like biotechnology, information technology and so on. So we have one story of a village that we will do on the next turn. Along with that we will complete question answer, then we will have revision. So thank you for today. Have a nice day.